How many of us woke up one morning in 2020 feeling anxious and decided to go for a walk? The rising numbers in both birding and wildlife photography communities suggest that many of us recently subscribed to nature therapy. I count myself as one of the many converts to this beautiful hobby. In addition to discovering photography, I also found myself moving out of the city during 2020. We settled in the sleepy countryside of eastern Ontario, Canada. After following a few bird photography communities, I became aware of a little marsh that soon became one of my most frequented locations. I kept hearing about sightings of a green heron, and having never seen or heard of the bird, I was eager to see one for myself. Now, of course, I've always been familiar with the prehistoric-looking great blue heron. They might as well be the unofficial Canadian national bird, considering how common they are. But as someone brand new to the birding community, I'd never heard or even considered of all the different species that shared these traits. The egrets, the bitterns, the cranes, and of course, other herons. The more I went out, the more I saw new species. One evening whilst photographing my beloved mallard ducks, I looked up into a tree and saw my first great egret. The next week, I saw black-crowned night herons on the same river. For the first year I went to the marsh often, was rewarded with many sightings of local nature. But time and time again, I never saw the little green heron. So one morning I'm out in the kayak with my friend and mentor Matt, aka Dude with a Fuji. I drift up to an island trying to get a nice angle on a great blue heron in the morning light, when I hear a noise to my left. I turn my head and wouldn't you know, there's my first green heron. I was thrilled, and as these things go, once I got the monkey off my back, I started seeing them frequently. When I drive to the local store to get a pizza, it's not uncommon to see a few sitting in a tree by the lake. Every time I paddle this particular lake, we'll see several on the same island. Now back at my marsh, more herons, finally. After going through many different options, I found myself pre-ordering the new Fujifilm X-H2S earlier this summer, and luckily I received it on day one. It's a beautiful camera, and with my love of video rapidly blooming, I decided to spend a morning at the marsh filming these little guys. I love good photography, but I'm still finding my voice and style. One thing I find very difficult with still images is showcasing the struggle that is survival. This particular heron, like all birds, is trying to get enough food to get him through the summer. Migration, nesting, and all the other things birds do. Considering the dismal size of most of his meals, hunting is his main activity. But he's not alone. The marsh is a busy place, and he's the farthest thing from an apex predator there is. Even while hunting, he has to keep a watchful eye for other predators looking to make a meal out of him. Luckily, our little hero bird has found a quiet spot in the marsh away from other birds, other than our dear mallards. It's a lot of standing around and watching. Maybe take a break for some preening. He's looking for fish, but will take whatever comes. This fly flew too close to the sun and was abruptly eaten. Quick drink to wash it down, and it's back to work. The other marsh predators are equally hungry, but seem to be more successful. But our heron doesn't let that dissuade him, and so more waiting, watching, more waiting. The terrain isn't always hospitable, but he knows a meal is close by. And after a while, it seems that he spots something. He lines it up, he targets, and success! Now he knows better than to eat it in the open, so he flies back to safety to finish the meal. But one success doesn't equal the end of a workday, and before long, it's time to relocate in pursuit of the next bite. I ended up spending quite a bit of time with this bird over the summer, and he became very comfortable with me. I have a newfound appreciation for these little birds, and I look forward to spending time with them for years to come.